Welcome back to Web Technologies class. This is Dr. Shami. In the previous video, we discussed about the document object model. Now, the continuation of another parser, that is Simple API for XML. So, the SAX is an event-based parser for XML documents, and this parser tells the application what is in the document by notifying the application of a stream of parsing events. So application then processes those events to act on such data. So this SAX 1.0 was released on May 11, 1998. It is a common event-based API for parsing XML documents. This was developed as a collaborative project of the members of XML Dev discussion under the leadership of David Mackinson. So, for applications that are not so XML centric, an object based interface is less appealing. So, here efficiency is lower than object based interfaces. The limitation of SAX is it is not possible to navigate through the document as we can do with DOM, because DOM is also known as random access parser. The application must explicitly buffer those events in which it is interested, and parser events are similar to user interface events such as onClick or AWT events in Java. So events alert the application that something happened, and the application have to react based on that. Before we discuss about this, let us also discuss the comparison of DOM and SAX. So DOM is suitable for small documents and it is easily modifiable and memory intensive because it loads the complete XML document. Whereas SAX, it is suitable for large documents and saves significant amounts of memory. It only traverses documents once, that is start to end. And it is event driven, but limited standard functions are only allowed here. So before we discuss in detail about this SAX, we all have to go through the Extensible Hypertext Markup Language, that is XHTML. So hypertext is a simple piece of text that works as a link. We know that. But markup language is a language of writing layout information within documents. So the XHTML recommended by W3C, and it is basically a document with the plain text file and is very much similar to HTML. It contains rich text, means text with tags. So the extension to this program should be either HTML or XHTML. The programs can be opened in some web browsers and the corresponding web page can be viewed. So before we start that, we need to know the comparison between HTML and XHTML. So HTML is tags are insensitive, whereas XHTML tags are case sensitive. So we can omit the closing tag sometimes in HTML, but for every tag there must be a closing tag in XHTML. The attribute values is need not always necessary to quote, but here the attribute values are mandatory, which has to be quoted. In HTML, there are some implicit attribute values, whereas in XHTML, the attribute values must be specified explicitly. In HTML, even if we do not follow the nesting rules, strictly it does not cause much difference. But in XHTML, the nesting rules must be strictly followed. That is, a form element cannot contain in another form element. An anchor element does not contain another form element. List element cannot be nested in the list element. If there are two nested elements, then the inner element must be enclosed first before closing the outer element. The text element cannot be directly nested in form element. So the standard structure includes document type, HTML, head and body. So this is specified by XHTML 1.11 DTD. There are three types of document type definitions here. 1.0 strict, 1.0 transitional, and XHTML 1.0 frames it. Strict means it is clean markup code. Transitional is it is used for some HTML features in existing XHTML document, and frames it is use of frames in XHTML document. So we know that in DOM we have certain interfaces. Several Java interfaces are there in DOM, that is node, element, attribute, text and document, which means node is the base data type of the DOM and element is the vast majority of the objects which deal with elements. An attribute represents the attribute of an element, text is the actual content of an element or attribute, and document represents the entire XML document. A document object is often referred to as DOM tree. Common DOM methods are document.getDocumentElement, which is used to return the root element of the document, node.getFirstChild, node.getLastChild, next sibling, previous sibling, and so on, which we discussed earlier in the previous video. So there are certain steps while parsing a document using DOM parser. First, we need to import the XML related packages. Then we have to create a document builder. Then we have to create a document from a file or stream. Then we need to extract the root element. Then examine the attributes. After that, finally examine the sub elements. So this is how DOM parsing is done. Coming to SAX, that is simple API for XML. It is event-based parser for XML documents. So unlike a DOM parser, a SAX parser creates no parse tree. So SAX is a streaming interface for XML. So which means the application using SAX receive event notifications about the XML document being processed, that is an element or attribute at a time, in sequential order, starting at the top of the document and ending with the closing of the root element. So here we can read the XML document from top to bottom, recognizing the tokens that make up the well-formed XML document. See, start document, starting element, and its element. This is comment, which is ignored. Again, we have one more element and its characters, then end element for that. So everything must be properly enclosed. This is the end element. So tokens are pre-processed in the same order that they appear in the document. Reports the application program the nature of tokens that the parser has encountered as they occur, and the application program provides an event handler that must be registered with the parser. As the tokens are identified, callback methods in the handler are invoked with the relevant information. So we can use a SAX parser when we need to process the XML document in a linear fashion from top down, like this. So like the documents need not be deeply nested, and we are processing very large XML document whose DOM tree would consume too much memory. So typical DOM implementations use 10 bytes of memory to represent 1 byte of XML. So the problem to be solved involves only part of the XML document. So data is available as soon as it is seen by the parser. So SAX works well for an XML document that is arriving over a stream. So the disadvantages of SAX are we have no random access to an XML document since it is processed in a forward only manner, and if we want to keep track of data the parser has seen or it has changed the order of items, we must write the code and store the data on our own. And the data is broken into pieces and clients never have all the information as a whole unless they create their own data structure. So the kinds of events are start of the document is encountered, end of the document will be encountered, start tag of an element is encountered, end tag of an element is encountered, character data will be encountered, and processing instruction will be encountered. So scanning the XML file from start to end, each event invokes a corresponding callback method that the programmer can write. So XML reader factory is used to create the SAX parser. and it handles documents events such as start tag and end tag, that is content handler. Error handler handles the parser errors. DTD handler is used to handle the document type definition, and entity resolver is used to handle the entities. So the packages that we use here are javax.xml parsers and org.xml.sax. So javax.xml.parsers are used for describing the main classes needed for parsing. org.xml.sax is used for describing new interfaces for parsing. So the Sax classes are like Sax parser is used to define the API that wraps an XML reader implementation class. Next, Sax parser factory. It is used to define the factory API that enables applications to configure and obtain a Sax-based parser to parse XML documents. Content handler will receive notification of the logical content of a document. DTD handler receives notification of basic DTD related events. Entity resolver receives information, basic interface for resolving entities. Error handler will be the basic interface for SAX error handlers. And default handler is the default base class for SAX event handlers. So these parser methods include start document and end document, and start element, end element at the document, start and end of a document element, characters with the text contents in between the start and end tags of the XML document element. So here is an example, and the content handler interface, that is which specifies the callback methods that the Sax parser used to notify an application program that has the components of the XML document. So it will have void start document, which is called at the beginning of the document, and end document, which will be called at the end of a document. Start element along with string URI, string local name, string queue name, string attribute add, which is called at the beginning of an element. Similarly for end element. And we have characters where the character data is encountered. Ignorable white space is used to ignore the white space. Processing instruction is called with two parameters. Set document locator provides the locator that can be used to identify the positions in the document. Skipped entity can be called when an unresolved entity is encountered. So this implements the XML reader. Factory method is called here. This is the parsing. So we have discussed about the content handler methods, ignorable white space, and many more we have. End prefix mapping and start prefix mapping are some of the other methods which are called when a new namespace mapping is defined. And end prefix mapping will end the definition, namespace definition in its scope. So the default handler implements all the handler interfaces, and it is used to implement the content handler interface extension. Start document, end document, start element, and we have many more methods. When the parser parses an empty element, we get error. So we have access to all these attributes. These are the attributes possible types. So all the elements must be properly nested and it is case sensitive. So always the error handler is registered with set error handler, and three methods we have in that: error, fatal error and warning error. So fatal errors are disable the parser from continuing parsing, that is recoverable errors. Warning errors are abnormal conditions. Entity resolver and DTD handler, they enables the programmer to specify new source of translation of external entities, and they enable to react when notation and unparsed entities are declared inside the DTD. So let us compare the SACS and DOM. Now DOM stores the entire XML document into the memory before processing, whereas the SACS parses node by node. So DOM occupies more memory. Here in SACS, it doesn't store the XML in memory. We can insert and delete nodes in DOM, whereas we can't do the modifications or insertions in the SACS. DOM is a tree model parser and SACS is an event model based parser. So DOM is an API, SACS is a simple API for XML. So DOM preserves comments. Here in SACS it doesn't preserve comments. So DOM is slower than SACS and it is heavy weighted. SACS generally runs a little faster than DOM and so it is light weighted. So DOM can traverse in any direction, whereas SACS traverses from top to bottom only, that is forward approach. And so we call DOM as random access and SACS as serial access. So the packages that are required to import DOM are javax.xml.parsers, javax.xml.parsers.document-builder, javax.xml.parsers.document-builder-factory. Whereas the packages required to import SACS are import java.xml.parsers, org.xml.sacs, org.xml.sacshelpers, sacs.helpers. So namespace are not supported here. It cannot validate DTD here. The properties like XML string, that is that actual text that caused the current event, will only read the property. Lexical handler, it the way in which the document was written was and now with its content are referred as lexical handler, and we have lexical handler interface. For setting this property, an instance of the handler is implemented. The methods are start cdata, end cdata, comments, start entity, end entity, and many more we have in lexical handling. We already discussed the comparison between SACS and DOM. So to convert HTML to XHTML, we need to add XHTML document line, that is document type, to the first line of every page, and we need to add XML-NS attribute to HTML element of every page. This will change all element names to lowercase and it will close all empty elements, and it can change the attribute names to lowercase, and also it will quote all attribute values. So every XHTML document must begin with an XML documentation element that simply identifies document because it is based on XML. So in this line the XML version is specified as 1.0, that is Unicode encoding. So the XHTML document consists of some strings enclosed within angular brackets. Such strings are called as tags. So generally the code for any scripting language is written in some text editor like Notepad. While saving XHTML document written in Notepad, we have to save it using the extension .html. And for file type, we have to select option all files, otherwise file may get saved as html.txt. So we should be careful while doing this. Coming to the parsing of XML data, the primary and goal of an XML processor is to parse the given XML document. Java has rich source of inbuilt APIs for parsing the given XML document. And so we are using either tree-based parsing or event-based parsing. Tree-based is based on DOM and event-based is based on SAX. So on the whole, using SAX it is difficult because it hands over, it informs the event to our application program, and our program acts upon the events. Parsing continues till all the events or end of the XML is parsed. So it detects an events every time and read the XML file as node by node. That is node navigation. Only forward navigation is possible, but DOM uses any traversal method. So DOM is more comfortable. And also, though it uses more amount of memory, it handles the XML for application program as XML tree, and it parses the whole XML document at a time. DOM is efficient in that. So if we have very large document, we need to go with SAX parsing, and if we need to manipulate or you want to do some modification with our document, we need to use DOM. So based on our requirement, we can choose either of this parsing method.